Michael J. Franquis.
And can you spell both first and last, please?
Yeah, Michael Franquis.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Franquis. Is that how you say your last name?
Yes.
And your first name is Michael?
Yes.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Can you tell us where you work?
Broward County Landfill.
Where is that located?
701 Southwest 205th Avenue, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
And can you tell us what you do then?
I'm a supervisor.
Supervisor?
Yes.
What does that entail?
So you basically open, operate, and close the operation.
Now, back in 2017, it was in October of 2017, were you working there?
Yes.
In what capacity?
Supervisor.
How many of you worked there during any particular shift?
Supervisors?
Yeah.
At the time, one per day.
One per day.
Yeah.
And is there other people that work at the dump?
Yes.
How many? Other than supervisors?
Probably about 12 employees each day.
And do you remember the police approaching you in October of 2017?
Yes.
And do you remember why they approached you?
Yes.
Why is that?
Because apparently there was a body that was transported through the landfill.
Okay. And you were asked to provide surveillance video?
Yes.
And you provided that video?
Yes.
You had a chance to view it before, correct?
Yes.
I'm going to approach what's going to be pre-marked states. States JJ, Your Honor. I want you to take a look at the CD. Tell me if you recognize Michael, okay?
Yes.
You recognize it? And that's you watched that CD before?
Yes.
Okay. And it accurately reflects the surveillance that you provided to the Plantation Police Department?
Yes.
Does it appear to be altered in any way?
No.
Okay. At this point, I'd like to move into evidence with the mark as Stage JJ, pre-marked, State's evidence.
All right, that should be States 36. All right, that'll be admitted to evidence as States Exhibit 36.
Permission to publish.
You may publish.
Now, Michael, there's a number of cameras at the dump, correct?
Yes.
How many would you estimate?
I think there's like 8 different angles at that particular location.
Some of the sound, correct?
Yeah, I believe all of them have sound.
Do you see that on the screen in front of you?
Yes.
Which camera angle is this? Or do you need to do a little bit more?
That's inbound.
So somebody's coming into the dump, this is the window that they approach, correct?
Yes.
Alright, now what city, cash or credit? What city? stay by the town? Is this your first time? Oh, okay. All right, thank you. I need your driver's license. Just your driver's license. Yeah, as far as it goes. All right, just hang on for a second. I gotta put you in the system. Okay, Eric, this is your tipping ticket. See if you can reach. Can you get it? All right. Don't lose that. Yes. And you have to go to the landfill for the construction, which is number 1. And just follow that. You'll get up here and make a left. Just stay on the road and it'll take you up to the landfill. Don't dump. There's people up here to show you where to dump. And then after you get dumped, please be careful. Come down here. We'll tell you how much. Okay? Thank you. Be careful.
Now, can you explain to the jury how it works in terms of payment at the dump?
Yeah, sure. So you come in on the inbound side with the material that you want to dispose of, and then you leave after we capture the weight. When you press that key, you capture the weight of the vehicle, and then the vehicle goes to what's called the tipping floor of a landfill. You dispose of the material, and then you return back to the outbound side, and then you're reweighed again, and the difference between the two weights is how the county charges you a fare.
So this particular window is an incoming one where the pickup truck will be weighed, correct?
Yes,
What kind of vehicle was
it was an F-150.
what color?
It was gray.
Who was driving that vehicle?
Eric.
The defendant?
Yes,
Was there anybody else inside the vehicle?
there was a girl.
Was she driving or was she a passenger?
She was a passenger.
Did you have any communication with her?
She had like dirty blonde hair.
Did you have any communication with her?
Oh, I'm sorry, communication? No, she didn't say anything.
Now, once you get past this point, you have access to the dump, correct?
Yes.
And in fact, there was a piece of paper that was given to the defendant in this case, and what was that piece of paper?
It's a tipping authorization ticket allowing you to dispose at the facility.
And there was another bigger piece of paper. What was that?
Those are directions to get to the site because the site's, it's not small, it's kind of large, so some people get lost.
Like a map?
Yeah.
Now, hypothetically speaking, if somebody gets to the dump, they get past this point, they have access to dispose of garbage, correct?
Yes.
Can they dispose of anything?
No.
Is there things that are prohibited,
Yes.
such as?
Gasoline, oil, lead, transmission fluid, coolant, mercury, bodies, any human remains, any animal remains. There are facilities that take the animal remains, but we're not one of them.
And how do you make sure, or how does the dump make sure that prohibited items are not disposed of?
On the landfill, we have like several machine operators. They're trained spotters. They go through a state certified program to become state spotters, and there's also people there, inspecting to make sure that prohibited material isn't disposed of in a landfill.
And if a person is dumping there, there's people looking at what they're dumping, correct?
Yes, we're watching what you dump.
And Michael, which camera are we looking at here?
West, it's like the west view on the outbound.
Outbound? So this would be coming from the dump?
Yeah, if you look in back area, that mound that's up there, that's relatively the area that they're disposing of at the time. And
These smokestacks, are these
no, those are transmission power lines for FP&L.
Gotcha.
But beyond that, where that tower is in the center, that's hill is where they're disposing. Yes, right up there by the on the top of there. Yeah. So the cars come down and then coming way out.
So this would be after you're done with your business at the dump, you're coming back through the office, correct?
Yes, you're coming back to the scale house on the westbound side to get your weight, give them your ticket, and pay your fare.
Very well. And this vehicle right here is the F-150
Yes,
going into the dump.
it's going to dump.
Now, from this angle, can you tell where we're looking at?
It's the outbound top view camera.
When you say outbound, what do you mean by that?
West side outbound, where vehicles are leaving.
Leaving the facility.
Yes.
Now we see a top view of the truck. There appears to be some garbage in the back of it, correct?
Yes.
This angle just shows the inside of the office, correct?
That's the interior portion of the scale house. That's the inbound side, and that's the outbound side.
Where are you?
I'm on the outbound side.
Right here?
Yes.
The guy with the red hat, that's a friend I was working with?
Yes. That's the interior camera. It's used for like cash discrepancies on the outbound. It's overview, so you can see what the person's doing and the person that's leaving.
This would be your window, correct?
Yes.
So you can hear your voice communicating with whoever that is, correct?
Yes, they watch us overhead. It's actually monitored by
I'm sorry?
It's actually monitored by BSO, the whole scale house operation.
KP 3000? Yeah. Hang on 1 second. How you doing? Now. Tell me, you got something else, Mike? Is that no, that's KP 3000. Is it good, Cameron? Nothing wrong. Sitting in the back. Peter, does they take 75 west to Naples? 75 both over? Yeah. Turn the alligator out west. Yeah, you're gonna go. Okay, fine. I got it. Have a nice property management service. Yep, I got it. Thank you. Okay. All right, bye. You gonna go to Naples? Yeah. You take this right out here. You go to 75, and you just shoot all the way west. It'll take you straight to Naples.
It's going to be a fork when you go down this road, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to ask you, you know, which way you want to go. And there's a sign that says Naples. You get a fork on. I think 35 moves you around, turns into alley or alley, and you take that across the Naples.
You got a toll.
But
You have to go through a toll. If you go any other way and you don't go through a toll, you went the wrong way.
You're going to go right at the end of 27 and take 27 north. And then it's going to fork off. About 5 miles up the road.
Hey, what?
Right, that was the defendant speaking to you. Eric?
Yes.
He appears to be smiling in the picture, correct?
Seemed as if.
I'm sorry?
Seems as if he was.
And the communication that you had with him, what was he asking you?
He was asking for directions
To where?
to Naples.
To Naples. And you gave him directions?
Yes.
I noticed that he also gave you the ticket and paid for some
Yes.
garbage that was disposed of, correct?
Yes.
Do you remember how much?
It was less than $100. Less than 100 pounds.
Less than 100 pounds?
Yes.
Okay. How do you know that?
Because we charge a minimum fee of $10, and I actually instituted that fee because we used to charge people like 50 cents,
Okay.
and it wasn't worth the transaction. So,
So how do you know it was less than 100?
because it's a weight system set up that way.
So if it's less than 100, it's $10.
It's a minimum charge. Yeah. To use the facility, they charge a minimum of $10.
50 cents sounds bad, though.
It was, but the credit card processing fees aren't worth the transaction.
Which camera are we looking at here?
Inbound on the east
Down
side.
coming into the dump.
Yes.
And like we see a date and we see a time on these videos. It's calibrated. It's accurate.
Yes.
There appears to be some garbage in the back of it, correct?
Yes.
Or items in the back of it, correct?
Yes.
Which video is this?
That's the camera facing southbound on the outbound side.
Outbound. Side.
So it's south outbound.
Showing the vehicle leaving the facility, correct?
Yes.
Which camera is this?
Overhead outbound
Your window?
to the right of the screen.
This shows your window, correct?
That's the window I'm operating, yes.
So when you were speaking with him, this is a camera right above.
Directly above.
Now, Michael, we saw some garbage bags as the vehicle was coming into the facility, correct?
Yes.
Do you see any of those garbage bags there now?
No.
What do you see?
A gray tarp and a piece of wood.
What color is that tarp?
Gray.
Do you ask any questions about what's in the back of pickup trucks or anything like that?
Only if it's something that we see that's prohibited, or like for instance, if he was leaving with metal that, you know, potentially was not his, that might be a red flag. But no, not for that, because sometimes people leave with material.
Again, we're taking a look at the gray tarp, correct? Yes.
Yes.
I have no more questions for that.
Cross-examination.
No questions, John.
All right, you may step down. Thank you, sir.